Sailing's the new skill that's been proposed, or at least passed the poll. This is their refinement kickoff blog. Oh, okay. There's a bunch of contents. I'm going to do a quick TLDR. I'm not going to sit here and read word for word. I'm sure we get the gist of it, the introduction. We know what sailing is, and we know how the skilling process is going. We've seen it like 5 or 6 times, okay? So let me fix this shadow by doing that. And that should be better. So we're at the refinement stage now. Okay, which is where we take one skill and refine it further. Now, if we don't like the refinement phase, we can always go back. And then I'd imagine shamanism might be the next, like, pick. If they don't like the way they refine this. If they like the way it's refined, they're going to lock it in as a new skill. And they're going to flesh it out and to the point that it essentially could technically just go into the game. Although we're going to beta test it first anyway, alright? Kind of like, it's going to go to the point how the Lightest Prayer book currently is for the beta, or the Bounty Hunter World stuff, okay? So, this is where we are. The refinement, our journey to the sailing design blog starts by covering 4 key topics. Each of which will get around 2 weeks worth of feedback time, okay? The core system, okay, so there's going to be 4 different topics they're going to go over, okay. And they're going to give 2 weeks of feedback, okay, that makes sense. So, the core system and gameplay loops, the navigation and map/C scale, reward space and overall game integration and lore. So these are going to be covered over the next like 2 or 3 months, I'd imagine, right? Once we've discussed these topics thoroughly, we can move on to a longer detailed design for you to vote on. Sounds good. A few ground rules when it comes to discussion. Over the next couple of months, we'll be addressing each topic in order, okay? We'd prefer if you all stuck as closely to the current topic as possible. So don't worry about rewards, don't worry about the map or overall game integration while we're talking about the core system and gameplay loops. Try to keep all that separate, okay? And I think it's important to keep that in mind. Even if you're not a fan of this skill, or you're not a fan of a new skill, if you're going to give feedback, try to just keep it relevant to what's going on. Apologize for James and OSRS banning you. Fallen, I will ban you. Do not interrupt my video again with a notification. Thank you for the 8 months. Okay. You might have great feedback in mind, but please hold off until you're ready to discuss relevant topics. Just write it down. There is a Discord as well, which you can join for the topics, which is just a bunch of trogs just spitballing dumb ideas that are never going to get put into the game, so it's not really worth your time going there. Once we've discussed all 4 topics, we'll present a detailed design blog with everything we've learned. Remember, nothing is locked in until we run a 70-30 poll. So just because it's in a blog doesn't mean it's happening, okay? It's an idea, and you can give feedback if you have any feedback. We want to reassure everyone that your feedback is incredibly valuable to us. If you didn't vote for sailing, you're still very welcome to participate in discussion. In fact, your ideas might be the most valuable of all. We're hoping to improve sailing based on your feedback. I think that's a good point too. If you have a negative view on sailing, or if you, not so much negative, if you didn't vote for sailing or you didn't like the idea of sailing, and it's beyond like, oh, because it's a meme from April Fools. If it's like genuinely something you're concerned with, or you have a concern, absolutely give that feedback, and that way it can be worked on or worked around, or you can at least get some more light on the situation. Sail is gonna flunk. Shamism is gonna come back. Thank you. Fallen, thank you for the $2. Core system and gameplay loops. Okay, so mid-May, which is less than a month from now. As you know, sailing will be an open world skill, allowing brave buccaneers, yep, whatever. Kicking off with the refinement stage by discussing the core system and gameplay loops in detail. Critical topic because we know your biggest concern with the skill, it might feel like a mini-game. This topic will help us steer away from that outcome. That's good. That's the direction I need to go. We need help to choose the best skill methods for sailing. Share your favorite ideas with us so we can create an exciting gameplay loop that feels 100% old school during refinement. I don't like the whole idea of making things feel old school. I think that's a copium mechanism. I think people just say, oh, it has to feel old school. This game doesn't fucking feel old school. I just got fucked in the ass by 50 minutes straight in Chambers of Xeric. That doesn't feel old school at all. You want to feel old school, take me back to Rune Two-Handers and Rune Skimmies being the meta. The Dragon Longsword with the granite plate body. Most of your sailing seems more like it's adding an area instead of a skill. Well, it's adding both, but any skill is going to do that, right? If you add a new skill, you'd like to think they add a new area at the same time. Like, wouldn't you want a new area to come with a new skill? Wouldn't that bring more to the skill? Go back to right-click dropping instead of shift-click. No, that's cringe. Shift-clicking is best. During refinement, we'll iron out what we reckon are the best, most enjoyable training methods, whether they whether they be solo, group-based, high intensity, or AFK. Yep. Another question we're interested here is, how much time do you like to spend actually out at sea instead of exploring the islands you'll discover on your adventure? Yeah, that's going to be difficult to find that balance because I have no clue. So late May is going to be navigation and map/sea scale, which is the core gameplay. Now down, we'll talk about the map. I don't know how I want to do that. I can't see the. Have we got a RuneScape map? OSRS map. What have we got? That's a pretty good map. We've got a map that works. Click to enlarge. Here we go. Look at that. We have a map. Fucking hell. It depends. Do you just use this space? I mean, all this open space, I'd imagine they could use for land as well. I know there's some idiot that made the original video on sailing, which was, in my opinion, was a terrible video. Filled in this area here between Zaya and, I guess, the original RuneScape area. How much time do you want to spend going between islands, and how much time do you want to spend out in the sea? That's a question I don't even know, man. I really don't know. Higher tier islands need higher sailing levels. Should islands be locked behind sailing levels? I don't think so. I just think different islands should require different, or just offer different rewards or different ways to train. Bodhi said we need a new skill to come out so it can ruin the game and old school gets re-released. I don't know if Bodhi actually said that, but sure. What if they added areas that can be accessed through the skill? Well, that's the idea of it, yes. That's for a kingdom that killed the Kren King? Yes. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, yeah. I don't think it's for the entire square, though, just down here, right? Kingdom of Valamor, that's it. What if you place high-level resources on high-tier islands? Well, yeah, that's what you would like to do, right? Udi is comfy, yes. Thank you. If it's an open skill, open world skill, the map is going to be a shit show of islands, surely. I think so. I don't know. It depends, like, because you don't want to do too many islands, right? But then if you don't do enough islands, it's going to be shit. I think they should stay locked to make progression feel more meaningful, just my opinion. And how do you do that? Again, this is discussion for the later phase, but late May, this is going to be, I think, one of the toughest topics to talk about. Actually, the way you interact with your boat to move it, that makes it feel fun and not a chore, and also where to travel and what you get out of traveling. RS Polynesian Islands for sailing? Probably not, no. Whatever they do, I hope it's more fleshed out than Zaya at launch. Yeah, well, Zaya was meant to be better at launch, but they cut corners because Ome got fired, right? Reward space? Rewards are easy. We can discuss rewards all day. Rewards don't really matter till we know what the map and the sea scale is going to be, right? And then you've got the game integration and lore, which should be the easiest one to discuss because no one cares about lore, and game integration is just, yes. Said they might use keys, right? Well, how are you going to use it on mobile if you have to use keys? I like your idea, King. I think the higher level may be better equipment for your boat, less repairs needed in higher levels, faster ships. I think it shouldn't even be a skill. I think they should just make it its own fucking thing, man. It would be so much easier than higher level equals this. Why not just make it so you can build your own boat? And just have its own, let the boat have its own system. Have your own sailing system. The islands, you will offer different things without being locked behind levels. You know? It would make it a hell of a lot easier. And in my opinion, a lot more customizable. But, again, I'm not a game developer, so what the fuck do I know? Refinement key kickoff survey. Okay, so this is your invitation to join us in the sailing journey and pitch in to help the skill be the best it can be. Yes. You can expect dedicated blogs and Discord stages calls for each of the 4 topics. I'm keen to look at those. They will be really good. 24th of April. Yeah, early May we're looking at this. So, okay, explain the results of the Refinement kickoff survey. Okay. Mid-May, late May. So look, by mid-June, they're hoping to be ready to start developing the skill for, like, to have it ready down by July, August. Let's say by August. I want to say at latest, late August, they should be ready to start planning a beta, or at least showing us what we're getting. The skill should be refined by late August, which is pretty good, to be honest. Like, that's pretty quick and pretty good. Sail your boat and you run into a horny Zora ready to fish your boat, pretty much. Sailing could create a new area for slay monsters. Yeah, it could. The pet should be, there should be no pet. Why is the game down? Damage. Literally gonna have to get stone to try the skill. Probably not. Don't need a skill for sailing, just to be a combination of crafting, fletching, smithing. It doesn't have to be that, man. You could say the same for herbal and farming. Yes, you could. You could. Alright, let's have a look at the survey then. Anyways, that's like, this is just a brief rundown, obviously, and I think we could be at this locking in new skill stage by August, which is pretty fucking good. Sailing going to be Dungeonary version 2? Probably not, no. They want to avoid that, and they want to avoid making it a minigame, which is great. And honestly, like, Jagex, the old school team, they pull out some good content, okay? And they think outside the box, and they bring in a lot of ideas that the community isn't thinking of. I personally still think that, especially by just thinking about the integration and how to move the boat to make it work and not make it feel like a chore, I think they should just not lock it behind a skilling system. It should just be, it should be its own progression system. That's more customizable. I think people will find a lot more success of it. But they could absolutely, and more than likely will come up with something that'll work. Sailing, CFEs, and OSRS. Anyone that says sailing is CFEs and OSRS, I immediately write you off as a moron. It's the stupidest thing you could say. Are thou bringing in alternative ways to train Herblore? Oh, probably, yeah. Let's go back from grabbing food, had to see him go. Ryan, it was the worst CM of my life. Olm got to half health on the head, and it logged me out. It was literally, like, the worst fucking Mutterdale, Guardians, Ice Demon, and Olm ever. It was absolutely fucked. I'm tilted. I'm mad. So I don't want to talk about it. I will say, I think if Shamanism gets brought back up as a skill, though, it should be a lot like you explained in your video. We don't need enhanced T-Bone Scythe. Well, we'll have to wait for a refinement on it. What's saying is I got fucked? Yes. Okay, let's have a look at this. Alright. Sailing refinement kickoff survey. Yep, okay. How did you vote on the new skill greenlight poll? If you didn't vote, please select the option that you would have voted for. This is the, how did I vote? How did I vote on the new skill? Yes. Total, oh, okay, we're doing this again. Alright, that's my total level. Do you actively play an Iron account? Yeah. How many hours per week do you play approximately? Over 20 hours a week. Easily. Easily. Tell us what kinds of activities is your favorite currently in the game. Was sailing your favorite first choice? Nope. Alright, moving on. Okay. Core system and gameplay loots. All skills involved with training methods. So the section of the survey is dedicated to questions about how you'd like to train sailing if it were to be added to the game. Okay. How much time should you be spending in a boat at sea versus exploring islands? I don't know. That's such a hard question. One main type of training method, but with variations. For example, it's like one main type of training method, but with variations. No, I think it should be more like Hunter, where it's a variation of completely separate. Wait, or is it? Wait, no, maybe it should be. If it's the same, should it be more like Slayer? I don't know. I wasn't convinced about shamanism, but Casey vid about it made me change my mind. Yeah, I'd like to think I had that effect on a fair few people. Pet should be plain. I don't even worry about the pet at the moment, dude. Shouldn't they already have all this data with what level accounts are, etc. when they vote? Yes, but it's like what your vote. So this isn't like how many people at this total level. It's the people with this total level seem to want this sort of content more than this sort of content. So people with over 2,000 total levels seem to want Slayer content, while people with 1,500 total levels seem to want Hunter type content, you know? It's to break it down. It's not so they know how many people have whatever total level. They're just trying to categorize each player base with the amount of time they play the game and what sort of total level they're looking at. So they know if it's just like, you know, all the end game players want one thing, but all the mid game players want something else. Or if they could see resemblance in both sides of the community. You know what I'm saying? I like the idea of an engaging active component and then being able to send out ships in your fleet on a time-based system, a bit like Birdhouse runs. I doubt that's going to be the way it goes. Fixing a Mars should give some selling XP and crafting. Once your journey is complete, you could get bulk XP drop. Yeah, I think... I don't know how. I think. I don't know what I think. I don't know which one I prefer, to be honest. I guess I'll like both and just see how it goes. Rate your interest in the following low-intensity tasks that sailing could include. Courier missions between ports. Does this mean I just send a ship off and go, yeah, sure, that's great, that's AFK. Fishing expeditions at sea. Slayer tasks on islands. Oh, don't even fucking start with that. Like, Konar Slayer is bad enough. Now you want to lock monsters to an island as well? Islands better be fucking good. Explore. No, not Slayer as in sailing expeditions could be interesting. It just means, like, you'll only be able to get sailing by sailing XP by doing one specific method of sailing. Like, so every time you sail, if you sail from island to island, you get sailing XP. That's it. Not like if you sail here and then do fishing, then you get sailing XP and fishing XP. And then you go here, do wood cutting, and you get sailing XP and wood cutting XP. None of that shit. There's no, like, no in between. It's just like end-to-end XP, like Slayer. A customizable ship would be sick. It would be great. I'd imagine we'll get that for sure. Sailing will end up having lots of passive skill training, like crafting and construction. Probably, yeah. Fishing expeditions, I mean, it's thematic, so it has to be, right? Exploring and chartering reefs, sure. I mean, I'm not a fan of the whole designated areas for Slayer. It's bad enough having Konar, to be honest. During refinement, we'll cover this in specific groups. Rate your interest in the following high-intensity tasks that sailing could include. High-intensity, group-style activities like ships and on ships or islands. Yes. Discovering new and conquering new islands. I like the idea of conquering islands, yes. Defeating sea bosses, of course. Navigating challenging sea terrain. That sounds okay. How much of sailing should be focused on other skills? Slayer at sea versus training sailing alone. That's the question. Why doesn't he like Konar? Because no one wants to go to the Isle of Souls to kill Iron Dragons. No one wants to go to the Chasm of Fire to kill Black Demons. No one wants to kill Black Demons in general. No one wants to be locked in the Slayer Tower to kill Abyssal Demons. Konar is shit. It's end of story. Konar is absolute shit. Oh, but Brimstone Keys. Okay. Kill yourself. In-game. How much of sailing should be focused on other skills? This, I don't know how I want to do, to be honest. Because I think sailing kind of has to have other skills involved. But then it basically just becomes... I don't know. It's like you can only train sailing by doing other skills at the same time, or do you keep it just sailing, but then you limit it? I'd say you'd have to have most of it should be focused on other skills. Maybe some of it, either some or most, because otherwise sailing becomes too limited. Konar's only good when you're trying to do Hydra tasks. Yep. Got a new question. Does DFS give Dragonfire protection? No, it doesn't give full protection, no. It gives partial protection. I think some or most. I'm going to go with some. In fewer than 250 characters, please let us know some examples of activities you'd like / want to see with sailing. What would I like to see with sailing? I don't know. I want to see cutlasses come to the game. Skimmies, but better. That'd be cool. Alright, what intensity level do you prefer for the core gameplay loops of sailing? What intensity do you prefer for the core gameplay loops? I would prefer high intensity, I'd imagine. Provided it's good XP. A mix of low, maybe a mix of low and high. Please provide additional feedback or suggestion regarding the design. I think high intensity skills should have higher and consistent XP per hour. I think, at least. You want to see pirate PvP? Yeah, maybe. Like how are you gonna do pirate PvP? Is it just gonna be like Is it going to be like if you die, you lose shit? Or is it just going to be like unranked, like LMS, where you just PvP and then you don't actually lose anything if you die, you just rejoin? Because PvP is already fucked in this game. It's already like a trivial fucking part of this game that no one will ever seem to get right, no one will be happy with. Wilderness Ocean section, they would not know. Like, the last thing you want to do is PvP in the wilderness on boats. Handheld cannons would be awful. They had that in normal RuneScape, right? And then, like, they used to blow up on you if you didn't maintain them or something. They had a risk of fucking killing you. How important is it for you to be able to walk around on the ship and influence its navigation through the activities you do on board? See, I don't know about this. This is where it becomes difficult, right? Wouldn't some sailing routes through the wilderness waters be cool, though? Well, the wilderness waters, 90% of it is fucking lava. Unless you want to go round the outside. Round the outside. Round the outside. I remember the hand cannon, yeah. So, here's the question, guys. Walking over to the wheel and steering the ship, moving the sails up and down and hoisting the rigging on the boat. I don't know if this is a good idea. Because on one hand, yeah, this... Okay. On one hand, this would be cool, right? It'd be great to be able to do that with your boat. It'd be great to be able to interact with the parts of your boat. But, hear me out, then it means you have to put effort into it. You have to get the skill to 99, remember? Exactly, it'd be tedious getting it to 99. So, should you be able to do it? Yes. Should it be a core part of the skill? I don't think so. Gives me hot air balloon vibes? Yeah, but worse. I'm going to go not important because I think, and I don't think a lot of people will think about this at the time, you got to do this shit to 99. Like, this has to be encouraging and rewarding. Which navigational system do you prefer for your ship? It's a sailing skill. I mean, it kind of... Not interface driven. No. Combination of both point and click and WASD. I think that's the best way to do it. Combination of both. Rate the following things in relation to their importance. A navigational system that is not entirely dependent on interface. Extremely important. Actually, I'm just going to go important. Feels good on both desktop and mobile. Yes, that's absolutely important. Being able to see other players on land. For example, you'd be sailing on a boat and be able to see people and Kath would be fishing. How big are the boats? Yeah, I'd love to just... Could you just drive past people and just hit them with the old racial slur as you float past them? Be awesome. Being able to see / explore existing areas. Yes. Being able to see and explore brand new areas, new islands. Yeah, I think that's good. Please provide any additional feedback or suggestions regarding the design and navigation of the ship. I think... I don't have anything to say. That's positive. Entire sea. So what's this for? We're constantly expanding Gilnor, yet through the content added in the game. Sailing's potential is huge because we have so many sea tiles in the game already. Sailing is expected to launch with lots of content. However, we'd like to have room to expand through post-launch expansions in the future. Well, you can do that no matter what, right? You can just make shit up. And, the entire sea must be filled with content which would be improved upon through post-launch expansion. Rate the following statements in line with the amount of content that you would like to expect. Entire sea must be filled with content. I think that's pretty important. Right? I think so. Specific sections of the sea should release with loads of dense content, but blanks in other areas of the sea for future expansion. Is it possible to have too much? Nothing to say. Eat pants, not a bad shout. Wouldn't you have tiered NPCs to man your boat paid with GP, like a house butler? That wouldn't be too bad, yeah. What does it even mean? So it means, like, do you just have a bunch of islands stuff into one area and lots of ways to navigate and fish and do this like, boat shit, and then the rest of the map is empty for future expansion? I mean, I feel like that's a no-brainer regardless because... Like... Unless you want to fill the entire ocean out straight away. I don't know. I was going to say it's important, I guess. I know it's kind of a weird question to ask. How do you feel about the following statements in relation to the scope of sailing on release? New islands. I would be happy with this. Yes. Bosses on the islands. Yes. Dedicated guild. Yes. I think that'd be sick. Starter quest. Intro quest. Yes. Experienced quest. Is this on release? On release. I would expect this as a... I would expect this as a minimum. I have no preference on experience quest. New items and resources. Yes. New training methods for existing skills. Yes. A dedicated minigame. Isn't that the skill? I wouldn't care. Ship and upgrades and customizations. Yes. Your session was outdated, but we have updated you to your most But I just did. Huh? I just did this. What did we say? What? How important? Oh, fuck. How important? It's not important. Okay. Combination. Navigational system. That is not entirely dependent on the interface. What the fuck did I say here? Alright, hold on. Fill in the survey properly. Shut your fuck hole. Alright, a navigational system that is not entirely dependent on the interface. I think that is extremely important. Extremely important. Being able to see, yes, important. Yes and yes. Eat pant. Alright, what do we got here? Must be filled with content which would be improved upon through... I think I went important on both of these. I think I did. Yes. Don't care. Yes, don't care, yes. Alright, next, go. Alright, it's working. Reward space. What type of activities would you like to see on the new islands? Yes. Alright. When you think of a map expansion with Gillenor, what immediately comes to mind as an existing idea or prospect? Filling in the black areas. Would you like to see bosses on the new islands? Yeah, this question's been asked like 4 times. Alright, rate the following ideas of sailing rewards in relation to their importance. Cosmetic rewards, I think, are extremely important. Meta progression, improving your ship to access new areas. Yes. Functional worn items, yes. Ship items, yes. New resources and loot, yes. New ways to, yes. I like it all. Provide any examples of loot you would like to see from sailing, as well as any... I want a mermaid. Done. The raids area? Fuck the raid. Like the whole... Oh, like don't use the whole... They could do underwater or they could do sailing raids. Don't let the idea of a raid out in the ocean like be the selling point or the tipping point for you to be like, yes, I want this skill. Yes, this is perfect. Like, just because there's potential for a raid, there's potential for a raid on fucking Tutorial Island if you really wanted one, you know? Like, don't worry about raids. They will always be making raids. It's fine. Mermaid, fish half top or bottom? Fish half top, dude. You think the king has dementia? Why, what happened? You forgot to say one of the Cutlass again? Nah, that was on the other page before. That's right, we already hit the Cutlass one. That one wasn't refreshed. Alright. What new storylines could involve sailing? Who cares about storylines? We know that you want sailing to be integrated into the game world. How should it happen? With boats, I think is the answer. I want crossover training methods. So yeah, like you kind of have to have that. Access to existing training methods? Sure. I want access to new training methods. Cherry tree logs. What the fuck is a cherry tree? It's very likely that we'll use ports in some way with sailing. How much integration would they have to the skill? I feel like you have to use all ports or no ports, right? A combination of new and existing ports, yeah. Like you have to use old ports and new ports. Sorry, all ports or no ports. Please explain what other aspects, integration, and existing areas you'd like to see in sailing. I don't really care, to be honest. Alright, that's it. That was pretty easy. Okay. Is the game still down? Pure Seaman is definitely a good sailing locked account name. Very true. It's already been taken. Yeah. The game is still down? Okay. So, to wrap up the survey, I think we should expect good things. And I think it's really good that everything... we should have this... If the last step of this is mid-July, right? The refinement summary blog. Okay? That's the entire refinement done, mid-July. August, we should expect good things for this. 100%. So, I'm a fan. Pretty happy with the results. And I have good faith in Jagex. Looking forward to the results. This is the easiest room in the raid. It's quite simple. You got a big boy. Look at him. God damn. Fuck me. Look at that boy. It's huge.